So I just got out of the film Monkey Man, and this is one of the most raw movies that I have seen in a long time. And usually I'm pretty squeamish when it comes to like blood and guts and stuff, but this was still such a compelling film that I'm glad I saw it anyway. And one of my favorite early moments is a scene where they acknowledge the expectations you might have about a film where a dude spends 2 hours beating up and killing folks in order to get revenge, but then gives you the avenue to shift your expectations in order to better understand and appreciate the film that you're actually getting. And it's a scene towards the beginning where Dev Patel's character is going to buy a weapon, and the dude that he's buying from pulls out a gun that he says is the same one used by John Wick in his films. That's the exact same, but made in China, which is an acknowledgement of the idea that people could see this as a bit of a ripoff. But then he rejects that gun and opts for a smaller, heavier one that's cheaper but more difficult to aim. The dude running the shop says that you have to be really close for it to be effective because it's not great for aiming at a distance, and Dev's character says close is good, which is both important for the sheer amount of hand-to-hand combat that happens both before and after this scene, and it emphasizes the emotional core of the film because the events that motivate his revenge are so much more all-encompassing and traumatizing compared to what happens at the start of John Wick. Like, we understand that the emotional catharsis of John Wick comes from us experiencing the same sadness that he does when the dog dies, spoiler alert, which justifies the sheer amount of bullets fired throughout the rest of the film. But in the case of Monkey Man, you don't really understand what happened until he is forced to process that trauma for real himself. And that cheap, heavy little gun represents his cowardice and his unresolved trauma that he needs to work through in order to become the badass that he is at the end. Yeah, it's pretty good. Y'all should go see it. If you want. It is still pretty gruesome.